I'm Dominic. Welcome at Dominic's Kitchen. Today is a very exciting day for me because it's the first time I'm going to cook live for you. So what's the aim of my video? It is that you can cook together with me. So whenever my dish is ready, yours should be too. Now, why do I record this in English? It's very simple. English is a standard language and I have a lot of followers abroad, so everyone can join me while I'm cooking. Don't panic, because for my Dutch-speaking people, you can always go to my blog. You find the link underneath this video, and there you can find actually the recipe fully written down in English and in Dutch. So don't panic. Now, before you start this video, before you start cooking, make sure all the ingredients are in front of you and with the right amount. I mean, you just weigh and you see what you need. So then you can have everything before you and you can start easily. So what I'll do mostly, first of all, what I'm going to make today. I don't have a lot of time and it's the first time I try this, so I tried something simple. So I'm going to make eggs sunny side up with a lot of vegetables, and of course now I use tomatoes and potatoes also in my dish, but you can also add whatever you want. You can add fresh mushrooms, or you can add spinach if you want to, but now I keep it simple. I just use eggs, potatoes and tomatoes. Okay, so I chose for pre-cooked sliced potatoes because I don't have a lot of time, as I said. You can always use fresh potatoes, raw potatoes that you first boil or steam until they're cooked through, and you don't have to peel them, so you can wash them thoroughly under running water and just with peel on you cook or steam them until they're ready, and then you let them cool down a bit, so then you can slice them. They say in the menu, I also always use recipes that I find on the internet, most of all on Pinterest. Now I find something here. They say that you have to slice them 1 centimeter thickness, but I think half a centimeter is more than enough actually. So I use the pre-cooked ones. What else do you need? You have 10 or 12 cherry tomatoes that you have to slice in half. I use also spring onions, only one they say, but they're small ones, so I use 2. Of course, 2 eggs, fresh eggs, some pepper, some salt, some fresh basil leaves, a bit of butter, and of course what I always like with eggs is some fresh chives, because eggs and chives are a wonderful combination. So let's begin. First of all, I put some things aside. I start chopping the fresh cherry tomatoes in half. I use my wonderful knife that I got as a present, Christmas present from my partner. It's with the Dominic's Kitchen. It's engraved and it's a very good knife, so make sure your knife is very sharp. Just slice them up in half. So like this. So I always make that when I start cooking, that everything that needs to be chopped, it is chopped already on beforehand. So that makes cooking more efficient. I mean, you don't have to stop and slice again. So if you make sure everything is sliced and is getting ready, then it's easier to cook. Also, the spring onions I'm going to chop. I'll put on my glasses because otherwise I cut into my fingers. So in very small slices, and this is used at the end as a garnish, and it also gives of course some extra flavor. About the spring onions, you can also cut the green ends of it. These are delicious as well, so you don't have to throw it away. Just use everything of the spring onion, and then you can enjoy it all. I mean, you don't have to throw away things. So these are ready as well. Put them a bit aside. I'm going to cut now the chives as well. That's also for the end, but you can do it already now. So I cut them in two and make a small bunch, and then finally chop them. So they're already ready to use at the end. Make sure you don't cut into your fingers, which sometimes happens. I hope it doesn't happen now. So the basil, I'll wait a bit because this is, you need 6 to 7 leaves. I'll leave them on because they have the thing that they can, when you chop them already, they can a bit let's say become not that fresh and shrink a bit. So I'll wait at the end when everything is cooking, then you have the time to do that. So I'll put on my, I take a pan, a non-stick pan. That's easy when you want to make eggs, otherwise it sticks to your pan, of course. And I put it on the heat. Now I take a lump of butter. So I put it in my pan. And of course, wait, I could have done this already and then start chopping, but this goes as well. So now you have to wait until the butter melts a bit. And I always season quite well, so salt and pepper. You can also use in this dish, you can also use other herbs. For example, oregano or whatever you like. But you can make a lot of varieties of this and add whatever you like very much. So, but this time I keep it simple and I only add pepper and salt, and then the basil and the spring onions and the chives. So first you cook, as you see, I have here my recipe in front of me. It's out of the way, so I can always look what I have to do when I forgot. So first of all, so you melt a lump of butter and you put in the potatoes, which you bake for, let's say, 2 or 3 minutes, or until they're a bit golden brown. So I always season with a bit of salt and a bit of pepper. So because they're pre-cooked, they don't have to cook that long. So you'll just see when they get a brown crust, then they're almost ready. So I have also this tool. I sometimes use it when I have to turn it like this. Sometimes it's easier when you stir. Sometimes they keep laying on the same side, but in this way you can easily turn them and color them both sides. So what I like about eggs, people always say, how many eggs can you eat? Is it good for your cholesterol or not? I mean, eggs are you have a lot of proteins in eggs, so it's a very healthy thing to eat. So don't exaggerate. That's with everything. You don't have to exaggerate eating eggs, so you don't have to eat them every day. But now and then, when you don't have a lot of time and you want to make a proper meal, eggs and potatoes is really a perfect thing to do, and it's not that complicated, so I think everyone can make this, and that's also the aim of my blog, Dominic's Kitchen. Everyone is able to cook very well. Sometimes one recipe is a bit more difficult than others, but when you can go step by step, I think, in my opinion, everyone can cook. So actually the reason that I now start to make videos is that we recently saw a documentary, and it was about famous YouTubers, and we were very interested, and we looked at the documentary, but actually most young people, of course, who were very famous and got a lot of hits and subscribers, and actually they acted very funny, but of course it was for young public, but I'm not going to act that funny. But I was thinking, well, instead of only writing my blog, I have to cook it, and for me it's also very difficult, because every step I do when I'm cooking, I have to stop, take my camera, take a picture, and my hands sometimes are dirty, my camera becomes dirty, so it's not that easy and that simple to do it all the time in the middle of cooking. So now my partner is filming and I can cook without having to stop taking pictures, so that's quite handy actually. And then I think it's always better that you see something, how it's prepared, than when you have to read it. Of course, when you document it with a lot of pictures, it's also nice, but I wanted to combine both now. It seems to be a hype, and it seems to be very popular and successful, even more than watching television. People watching films on YouTube even more than they are watching television, so it's not because I'm over 50 that I cannot try and do it as well. So the potatoes have been cooked a bit. If you want to have them cooked a bit longer, you always can do that. But now you can add the cherry tomatoes and let them cook through a bit. You can also season a bit with salt and pepper. You stir a bit. They only have to cook along for about 2 minutes. They just need to get a bit warm and not disappear. It's not the aim is not that they disappear. When they cooked too long, they disappear a bit and you more get sauce. But you have to see them in your dish, so don't cook them too long. I'll just reduce the heat a bit. So now you all put this the side of your pan, so you make some space for your eggs. So you take your eggs and just crack them in the middle, so the egg sunny side up, like so. Again, yes, I like seasoning, I know, but that's according to your own taste. So some pepper and salt. I'll just do this a bit with the egg yolk, so it's a bit spread. Now you let it cook. I like that the egg white actually has a little bit of crust at the bottom, so and I don't like it to be slimy, so it needs to be a bit cooked well. So but that's your own choice, of course. just stir a bit the rest. Now, while this is cooking, you can take the basil leaves like so, and you also finely chop them. Like so. So we already have the chives and the spring onion. So now you can divide the vegetables over your dish, like so. So first the spring onions. Then I add the chives. And last but not least, the fresh basil. So. And when you see that the eggs are well cooked, I think your dish is ready. And you can take a nice plate and put it on and enjoy your meal. So I would say bon appetit. Enjoy your meal, and I see you next time. Bye!